Welcome everybody to season 1, episode 1 of Cherry Pit Live. We got a bunch we're going to talk about here, then we're going to get to a musical performance by Conniption after we're done here. First things first, Green Bay Packers pulling home the W yesterday. Yes, it was an intense game. I don't know if you guys were worried, but I was a little worried at halftime. It was only 19-10, and I'm like, there's still time, there's still room. But, they pulled through. Everything went good. I want to run through some stats here. First off, Devontae Adams had a career postseason record of 753 yards, and he beat out Antonio Freeman with that game yesterday. Aaron Rodgers went 23 for 36, 296 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. It was amazing. Packers 484 total yards, Rams 244 total yards, 188 rushing for the Packers, 296 passing. It was a great game to watch. It was I was on my edge, and I had a couple extra beers at halftime because I was nervous, but the Packers pulled through. So I'm going to talk about this COVID stuff here. So something bothered me as I was talking to my friends and, some people, potential clients that were coming in. A lot of people are still concerned with the COVID going on, about spreading it, and you should stay home. And a few things bother me. First, I had COVID 3-4 months ago, and the first response that everybody says when I say, hey, I don't think you got to worry about getting it from me because I already had it, everybody's like, well, you can get it twice. You can get it twice. So I looked it up, and there's a ton of articles on research studies, and I'm going to have you guys, I'll post a couple links to some that I found with, Forbes, BBC, and other stuff, but I'm going to stay away from the details from that. The most important thing is you follow what the CDC says, and the CDC on their website says, verbatim, cases of reinfection with COVID-19 have been reported but remain rare. And I'm not going to misinform you with any statistics. I'm just going to read what it says off of there. So, to be safe, we should still be social distancing and wearing masks, just as a precaution. Whether you believe, reinfection is a big problem or a small problem, COVID's a big problem in general. So let's be careful, let's stay safe, and let's do all that. Another problem that I've kind of had with the whole COVID thing is, you have celebrities, news anchors, TV show hosts, and all this stuff. And I get it that there's a protocol they follow to, make sure everybody's safe, getting tested regularly, keeping their distance and all that stuff. But I just wonder why we're not setting more of an example in the big media world of wearing a mask and making it more normal. I mean, if you saw news anchors with masks on, you'd be like, hey, I should do that too. And I thought that, I think that we're lacking leadership in that. So, if Mr. Rogers was still on this planet and he was doing his show, he'd be wearing a mask on his show, setting a good example for everybody else. And I would like to see that happen more, and unfortunately it doesn't. So that's that. So with COVID, everybody's been stuck inside. A lot of jobs have been turned upside down. The whole economy has been turned upside down. Things are all over the place. And a lot of people are looking for extra ways to earn money. And I've noticed many people that I've seen have posted links on their pages or promoted something called an OnlyFans. And for you guys that don't know what an OnlyFans is, it's where the average person can go and sign up, and they could post some suggestive pictures, and they could have subscribers pay a monthly fee or a per view or whatever it is. And, I thought this might be a good idea for me, but I don't really think anybody wants to see my dad bod laying on a bearskin rug. I don't think they'd pay for that, but I do have a sexy guitar back here. So I'm gonna pull this here. So I decided to create an OnlyFans for my sexy PRS guitar here, and she's a beaut. She's a real beaut. I'm gonna tell you first how we met. So first we met. I made the fortunate mistake of joining a group on Facebook that was high-end guitars, buy, sell, and trade, and a picture of her came up, and my life changed at that point. I had to have her. So I brought her home, came all the way from, I think, New Mexico. But she's been a great addition to the family, and I really love her, and she's a sexy, sexy beast. So I created an OnlyFans because I figured you guys would want to see a sexy guitar more than a dad bod producer on a bearskin rug. So for $5 a month, you can subscribe, and we have close-up pictures of her neck. We have close-up pictures of her body. And on Fridays, for an extra $3, you can watch her get plugged in. And on Saturdays, for an extra $5, we're going to do something special. We're going to pull that back plate off right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in the dating world, you take a mental note here. When you pull the back plate off on the guitar, you can see where the wires are crossed. It's very important. I want you to remember that. So yeah, check out Eric's PRS on his OnlyFans there. All right, so now, last thing we're going to talk about before we get into the live musical performance from Conniption, which I'm so excited for you guys to hear them. They're amazing. I love them. I've had the fortunate pleasure of working with them on a few records, and they're just super talented. And I have a client of mine back a while ago. His name is Shane Cook, and this guy would release his music videos, and they would get hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm like, Shane, how much money are you dumping into this stuff? Like it seemed like he was dumping, $1,000, $5,000 into promoting this. And I called him and I talked to him, and I'm like, how you doing this? What's the deal? And he goes, bro, you won't believe how much money I spent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Shane on the phone, and we're going to talk to him, and he's going to tell you how he promotes his music videos. And I think this is great advice for bands, whether you work with me or not, any local bands in the area, on being efficient with your promotion and your money.
Hello.
Shane.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What are you doing, buddy?
I'm live on TV right now. So
LeBrossed it then.
Yeah, I LeBrossed it. All right. So I was just telling our viewers here, you promote your music video, and these things get hundreds of thousands of views, and you're a country artist, right?
I am currently residing in Austin, Texas.
Nice. That's as country as it goes, right? Other than Nashville.
My hometown, though, is West Bend, Wisconsin. I'm right up the street from you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So I was telling these viewers that you get these views, and you said that I'd be shocked at how much you actually spent, because when you get 800,000 views on a video, I think you're putting $1,000 into the darn thing. Now, can you walk me through the very first time you released a video? It was probably about 2-3 years ago, hey?
It was about 3 years ago. It was a song I cut with you.
Okay.
At Cherry Pit Studios. The song was called Summertime.
Okay, and then how much did you put into promoting that, and how many views are on it currently? And for all the viewers, we're going to post a link to these videos in the comments.
Yeah, I put $300 into it, and it got 250,000 views.
Wow. So why do you think it did so well with that low of a promotion budget?
Well, I do a couple different things differently. So the first thing I do is I post the video directly to Facebook.
Okay.
Versus creating a YouTube link or a different type of link and then posting it on social media.
All right.
I post the video directly to them. And then there's other little tricks that I do that's kind of my secret sauce before I post it. So I use a lot of keywords.
Okay. What's an example for Summertime, which is your first country release you had with me and your first promotion? Like, what were some keywords you used?
Obviously, a lot of the familiar ones: country music, things like that. And then I also, I put in different things like lake life, boats, because that's the kind of song that was. Sure. It would appeal to those types of listeners. And then there's different demographics you can do. You can do all kinds of different stuff.
Okay.
The key is to not box yourself into a certain market, because you think, like here down in Texas, I just got picked up for that distribution deal. They're really good on regional targeting. And when that comes into play, and what that's good for is if you're doing a lot of live shows. If you're not doing a lot of live shows, which I don't do a lot of live shows since I've left Nashville, I've been focusing more on recording and videos. That plan doesn't necessarily work. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to open up your demographics. And where things really changed for me, you've got your typical demographics. You can go by age if you want to target a certain age group. You want to keep that wide open. Usually with my stuff, I'm kind of more of outlaw country guy these days. So, I've got things like drinking in my videos, things like that. You have to be really cautious of that.
Sure.
You got to make sure you're 21 and up, or they won't even approve your advertising.
Oh man. Well, good thing I don't have anything that's restricted here today while we're shooting. So just my coffee back here. Just got my coffee.
Really took a turn when I went from 180,000 views and 250,000 views to these 700,000 view videos. I opened up my market. So when I do a promotion, I usually break it into three, and I spend anywhere from $300 to $500 max. Okay. Now, and we kind of jumped right into this, but we're also missing some key things. You don't want to cut corner on your recordings.
Yep.
Right? You got to use, you got to get a producer like you that's emotionally invested and charged into making sure that song turns out great and it's musically correct and solid. Obviously the songwriting's got to be stellar. And then you got your video shoot.
Yeah.
So you're going to spend anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to shoot a decent video.
Nice.
I mean, before you're talking, these record labels,
yeah.
100,000. For guys like you and I,
local bands starting off in the market, that's a good budget to shoot for, and you could find someone.
Prepare for $800 to $1,000. You should get yourself somebody that does it professionally or at a minimum semi-professionally. The first video I shot, we kind of did ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That was for Cowboy Heaven, another Eric LaBrosse Cherry Pit song I recorded with you guys.
Thanks for the shout out.
And that got about 15,000 views. So it wasn't until I stepped it up and actually, we got to Nashville and we met a guy that did it. That's what he did. That the video quality went up a bunch of notches. So you got about $800 there. You're going to spend, for a really good recording, you're going to spend $800 to $1,200. Plus you got to, mixing is key, I found.
Sure.
So you're going to spend, if you really want a really good guy that's all he does is mixes, that's another few $100.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
and, you don't want to cut any corners on that. I just wanted to emphasize.
Sure.
That.
What was your most successful video you have currently?
Well, I've got two that I consider, kind of my top ones. I've got Double Time, which is it's a terrible number, but 666,000 views. I've got, and then I've got My Own Way, which is close to 600,000 views, but My Own Way had 9,800 likes, over 3,000 shares, and that's another way that you want to get people engaging on this.
Sure.
So you post your video, and I didn't mean to jump way behind and then jump back into it. So you got your keywords, you got your hashtags.
Yeah.
Okay, this is why you're posting the video. You want to make sure that you're hitting those hashtags.
Yeah.
And then again, I do 3 different ads. I might spend $100 on this demographic, $100 on this one, and $100 on that one. And the reason I do that is because you can adjust in real time.
Gotcha. You can, you can
target audience.
Sure.
So say I pick a demographic and I drop it in that area, and it's doing extremely well versus the 2 other ones are getting about half of that. Well, I can go and I can adjust those other 2 so that I get peak performance. The campaigns I run are generally, in 2-week increments.
Sure.
And then after 2 weeks, if I feel like it needs to spend a little more
if it's taken off, if it's got some momentum going, you want to keep it going, right?
Yeah, and the key is it's a snowball effect. So once you get it to this point where you've got thousands of likes and thousands of shares and people are watching it, and it kind of builds up a life of its own.
Sure. Self-sustaining.
So, and then the other thing is, people say, well, I've only got about 12,000 followers on my Facebook page, but, to start from zero, and
that's
then
pretty good.
Years be at 12,000 without doing any type of major touring or anything. That's just me putting out videos, guys.
That's awesome.
So, but my point is people say, well, how much money should I spend at advertising my Facebook page? The answer to that is 0. You should spend 0 money advertising your Facebook page.
And worry about the content.
Where you need to spend your money if you want the biggest bang for your buck is to shoot one of these videos, get it up there properly with all the keywords and hashtags and everything I talked. Get
Sure.
your budget going, and then every time somebody likes it, you invite them to follow your page. Every time somebody shares on it, you invite them to follow your page. Every time they
follow-up work. You got to do the follow-up work. It's key. All right, hey, we're gonna have to get you going here because I know everybody's excited to hear Conniption perform live. Before we go, I want to talk about Double Time. That was co-produced with me in Nashville, right?
Yep. I just got into Nashville and I just wasn't comfortable stepping away from my guy Eric LaBrosse. So we flew you down there and
thank you for your loyalty.
Directly into the studio and you allowed that magic happen, buddy.
Yeah, it was co-produced with country music legend Robbie Turner. And that was an incredible. Robbie Turner's played on Chris Stapleton's records, Pedal Steel. He's famous for Pedal Steel. Hasn't he? Doesn't he play or had he played with Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and stuff?
Originally he was with the Highwaymen. And then when that was kind of starting to fizzle out, Waylon stole him away from the Highwaymen and said, "You're going to be my personal Pedal Steel player."
That's crazy.
He was with Waylon for 15, 20 years. Then he went with the Dixie Chicks for 8 years on world tours, and in fact, he was on that tour when Natalie spoke her political beliefs, and then everybody kind of dished on her. Yeah, which was terrible, But so he was part of that.
Yeah.
Lots of stories. I could tell you a million stories. So then he was on Chris Stapleton's Traveler album. In fact, he was one of the first people that said before it was released, this is going to reinvent country music, and this is going to be as big as it gets.
Yeah, and
great guy.
The platinum records on his wall and stuff were incredible. Working with him is incredible. The stories, him and I were sharing music back and forth. I'm like, hey, check out this what I just did here, and he's like, let me show you this, and I was like, it was an awesome experience, working with someone of that caliber in Nashville, and I thank you very much for getting me involved with that song.
Oh man, I love having you involved in anything musically. I do when I can.
Awesome. All right, Shane, I'm gonna let you go here. But thank you very much for talking. All right,
love you guys. Make sure you go to my Facebook and Instagram pages at Shane Cook Music and hit the follow button.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shane.
All right. Love you, buddy.
All right, take care, bud. You too. Bye. So yeah, being smart with your money and your promotions, getting the videos at the target audience and stuff. I thought that was really unique that he said, don't spend money promoting your page to get your band out there. Put the content and make sure that content is solid. So make sure you got solid content, with the song, the producing, the video, all that, and then start seeing how it goes with, a little bit. But you got to spend money on promoting your music if you want to get it out there and see where it goes. All right, that's it for this section of Cherry Pit Live. I bet you guys are really excited. I'm super excited. I want to introduce you guys for a very special live acoustic performance. We're going to take it to the live room now with Conniption performing Until We Meet Again. Take care. Some things are meant to be, even if we don't know the reasons why. Doesn't mean we shouldn't try. But what will be, will be. Don't let the good go to your head, go to your head. You let the good pass you by. Yeah, I know someone left you. Yeah, someone left me too. I didn't want to say goodbye. Now I find it hard to even stop the high. But don't let the bad go to your head, go to your head. 'Cause you let the whole world pass you by. So I say goodbye until we meet again.
wondering why it couldn't last. Guess I'm still a hopeless romance, a sonic cement that all tell me we should embody. All of that stars seem pedantic, my heart leaves me frantic. Why must we make a new start? Because some things are meant to be. Even if we don't know the reasons why, just look at